evening, everyone. Hello. Good evening. It's the July 11th regular town Rhinebeck board meeting. Elizabeth, our supervisor, is away for the week, so I'm in charge and hopefully I don't screw it up. I'd like to, let's have the Pledge of Allegiance and then we'll get into the agenda.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
liberty, and
justice for all.
Great. Thank you. So I wanted to shift announcements, committee liaison reports down with new business. And I wanted Vanessa Bertozzi's here to speak to us about our first resolution, 2022-164, declaring support for New York State Climate Action Council scoping plan. So I was hoping she could have the floor and then we'll jump into the resolution.
What? Are you muted?
Hi.
Hi, Vanessa.
How are you, Vanessa?
Good. Thanks for having me, everyone. So I'm Vanessa Bertozzi, and I'm on the village board. And I'm sharing with you a model resolution that was given to me by former state senator Jen Metzger. The purpose of the resolution is to show support for New York State's plan to tackle climate change. And New York State's plan to tackle climate change is really nation-leading legislation, the CLCPA, Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. And it did take me a while to learn that acronym. So where they're at in the process is they pass this legislation and then they're like, okay, how are we going to meet these goals? And they put together a scoping plan. They've been getting public comment on that scoping plan. And so former State Senator Jen Metzger wants municipalities to speak up and say that this is urgently needed. Climate change is really the biggest issue of the day. And so I'm encouraging the town of Rhinebeck to show support. The resolution itself has a lot of details and it kind of goes through item by item, some highlights from the scoping plan. I've reached out to a number of other municipalities in the Hudson Valley, hoping that the Hudson Valley could show strong support since we are known for our sustainability efforts. So does anyone have any questions, any specific questions about the resolution?
Well, I have,
Go ahead.
I guess I would call it a concern, Vanessa, but only one. It's the first resolution on our page 3, which provides resolve the town of Rhinebeck supports the recommendations of the scoping plan to phase in code requirements prohibiting on-site combustion of fossil fuels in new buildings over a 2024 to 2027 period. I construe that to mean that we would be undertaking a moral obligation to make the changes that would be needed to prevent no on-site combustion of fossil fuels in new buildings starting after, I guess after the year 2027, only 5 years away, which I think is utterly unrealistic. So taking that on strikes me as, well, it's troublesome to me. The rest of it is fine, and I plan to vote for the rest of it, but I'm concerned about that one. I just don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, I mean, it is certainly really aggressive. I think the truth is that the technology exists to have fossil-free new construction. Obviously, retrofitting our very old building stock is more challenging. But I mean, I guess if the board feels like that particular clause is unacceptable, you could just remove that one.
That's what I would like to see us do, frankly.
But
would we need a motion to do that, or?
Yeah, I think so. But let me ask one other question. But ultimately, we're just providing support for this. It's not.
Yeah, it's not binding.
It's not the promise to legislate.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
binding.
we'll hear about it in
Right,
2028 when it doesn't happen. So if you want to go ahead and adopt it this way, feel free. I'll simply abstain. Otherwise, I'll vote for it if we strike this resolution.
I'm agnostic about it. I'm fine to support it as it is. Ed, Alan, where do you stand?
Okay with how it is.
Okay.
Same.
Chauncey, are you offended if we vote on this just as it is, or would you like to change it, or?
No, I'll vote for it if we take the first resolution out. I think, however, that I just feel kind of almost honor bound to abstain if we leave that in, because it, as I feel pretty strongly about it as an undertaking that we know we will not be able to honor, to meet.
Okay. Is there any public comment on this?
Chauncey's making sense.
How are you, sir? I think you're muted again, sir.
Yeah, I agree with Chauncey. I don't need to say much more.
Okay, got it.
As well, it undermines the effectiveness when it asks for something so. A guy who builds with his hands knows what it takes. This is not even in that ballpark. And it exposes us to criticism on fronts that we don't need, that don't serve the cause.
Vanessa, what's the time frame on this? Is this a gun to our head thing?
I think that the timing right now is pretty crucial because this is the end of the comment period.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Chauncey, if you're suggesting edits, what would it be?
You mean so that I could vote for it?
Yeah.
Simply delete the first resolution on page 3. That's all we'd have to do.
Okay, so when we get into this, I'll have to make a motion and then blah, 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 right?
Okay.
I think I'm starting to support that idea. Alan and Ed, are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Vanessa, thanks so much.
Do I make a comment?
Let's see Eleanor's hand up. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Eleanor.
Yeah, I just was wondering, could the time frame be changed or made a little less definitive so that that part wouldn't be taken out? I mean, that would be another way to do it.
It's a reasonable.
Would-
Chauncey, any response to that?
What time frame would you suggest?
Why don't we just leave the date out?
Yeah, exactly.
Town supports the recommendation of scoping plan to phase out.
Yep.
To phase in code requirements prohibiting one
I like that.
such of fossil fuels, period.
I think that's a very good idea.
Okay.
I'd be fine with that.
All right, so the mechanics of this, Vanessa, you good?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you all for talking it through. Yeah.
Thanks for your time. You're welcome to stay with us. We have some more business to get through, but
So I'll move to change the resolution to omit
yeah,
the words.
correct me on process here. Do we have to bring it up? Like we have to have a motion to bring it up first,
Yeah,
correct?
we have to, okay, yes, that's right.
Can I have a motion on 2022-164 declaring support for the New York State Climate Action Council scoping plan?
So move.
Okay, great. Second? Don't need a second on that because I didn't move it. Anyway. Okay, so now you're
So
gonna
I'll make a motion. Did we get a second?
I thought Ed seconded, didn't you?
Yeah,
Okay, and I'll make a motion to strike the words over a 2024-2027 period.
second.
Good.
All right, so all in favor of approval based on that edit?
Aye.
Aye. Great,
Great.
So-
Thank you all so much.
thanks.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Have a good
So
night.
that makes sense.
You too.
Could I ask Vanessa a really quick question? I apologize.
Go
I
ahead.
never interrupt the meeting. Vanessa, has the village board adopted this?
We're bringing it to our village board meeting tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Josh.
No worries, Bill.
Thanks.
Okay, so Joan, you got that? Great, thank you. Okay, can I have a motion for 2022-165 data security enhancements?
Okay, so I'll move, so move.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Great.
Thank you.
Any discussion or?
Yeah, this is, we were told by our computer support vendor, PCA, that we really need to upgrade the security on our servers and workstations. And this is, in my opinion, necessary. It basically is a proactive capability that watches activity on our servers and workstations to see that nothing that could be possibly a security problem is occurring. For instance, this would prevent somebody coming in and encrypting all of our data and then trying to hold it ransom. They have a 7x24 operation that is manned, or staffed, I should say, to watch for exceptions. This is unlike most of the security today, which basically just looks at the code that's in our servers to see if a known virus is there. So we're looking at $80 a month for all of our workstations and servers. I think the village is going to go for the same thing. It's $4 a month per workstation and server.
It makes sense. Is there any other
Thanks,
questions?
Alan. You answered my question.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Okay, 2022-167 transfer station railing quote approval. We have some damaged railing that needs repair. Ed, we have 2 bids. We wanted to go with 1, correct?
Right.
Are there any other questions or discussion about this?
Yeah, Josh, you jumped past the fee schedule
My bad.
to the transfer station. That's all right. I just want to make sure I hadn't misunderstood.
No, I screwed up. I'll go back to it.
We'll go back to it after. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
we might as well finish this one.
Yeah.
I think, Ed, at the fourth whereas clause of the resolution, whereas at our request, R&B Welding Service provided a second quote. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Extending the expiration date on July 6th. I suspect you meant to have there extending the expiration date to July 12th.
Yes, that'd be good. Right, Joe? Yes, that's good.
Okay, so Joan, we put in after the words expiration date to July 12, 2022.
All
That's
right.
just a clerical thing. I wouldn't,
Okay. good.
that's no substantive.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Going backwards, you're jumping around. 2022-166 revised recreation fee schedule. And I guess the question I have about this is I just can't recall or don't know what's been bumped here, if anything.
I believe this is basically what we had before.
From last year. And that includes the reduced family
Yeah.
number 225.
I think so.
Double check. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes, this is what we had last year.
Okay, cool. Any other discussion or questions? All right, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2022-168 preliminary accounts payable abstract. Let me get to that, bear with me. John, I'm still not figuring out the things. I'll get it straight. 50 checks for the amount of $62,436.58. Are there any questions or discussions about this? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The last agenda item, 2022-169, capital abstract in the amount, 1 check for $48.40. Any discussions or comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. And then we have 2 additions.
Josh, excuse me?
Yep.
The last 2 resolutions, did we have a motion in a second that I missed?
Yeah, you did. There weren't any. No, you're right. No motions or
Thank you,
stuff.
Jones. So to rewind there, motion for 20, can I do them together?
Sure.
Motions for 2022, 168 and 169. Can I have one?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
great. Thank you. Sorry, Joan.
Thank
Okay,
you.
we have two late additions for filming permits that we're trying to help, that were a little bit under our standard deadline, but trying to get them in the pipe. I have a motion for resolution 2022-170, filming permit for 362 Rhine Cliff Road.
Oh, that's not us. That's a different one.
Yeah, there's two this evening.
Oh, there's two.
Yeah.
I know, look at.
I know.
Does anyone motion?
Let's hope that goes through.
Make a motion. What?
Great. Can I get a second, please?
Second,
Great. Is there anybody here that wants to talk? This is Crawford and Company Productions have supplied a permit for filming a photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Address 362 Rhine Cliff Road. I think basically we're just looking for you guys to get all the paperwork and the deposit in and giving you a deadline of July 22nd. So I'm hoping that works with you. Is anybody here for this one that wants to speak to it? All right. Is there any further discussion or questions about this? Great. Hearing none. All in favor?
aye.
All right. Okay, our last one, may have a motion for resolution 2022-171, filming permit for 4 Kipsbergen Drive. This is Wincott Family Filming Company for the movie Family, apply for a permit for film shoot at 4 Kipsbergen private home on July 14th from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. And I think that the thing here is basically the same. We're just looking to get the paperwork squared away. Obviously, we've given you a deadline after you have to your actual event. So you have a sheer deadline. And I believe that there's an issue with a piece of paperwork that the highway department needs as well for no parking. Is there anybody here that wants to speak to this or ask as a
Yes,
question?
hello. Hi.
How are you?
Hello. Thank you for letting me speak. My name's Leah Rankovitz. I'm the location manager. We are filming there this Thursday, and our permit kind of changed because we asked for police, and the police aren't available, and they're aware of it. And for safety, we just wanted to talk to you and make sure that was okay. And the highway knows, and we asked for some parking on the road, and he said no, and that's fine. But we're just looking to do our filming on 4 Kipsbergen Lane and the drive. And Sergeant Dunn knows that we're doing this and it's okay. And also the highway is aware as well.
Yeah, so I think basically what we're doing is we're pre-approving this, but it's contingent on the basic information that we need you from, which is the insurance, the
Yep.
payment, and the highway department acknowledgement. So as long as
Yes,
we get that, we're good to go, and we're just trying to help.
that is fantastic. There is a check flying in from California that's going to
Great.
land and head your way tomorrow.
Great. Super.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no way. Good luck with the work.
We are happy to be in Rhinebeck. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody else? I just see that MJ, you joined. Were you for the other permit?
Yes, I'm for the other film permit for the Target shoot.
Right. So we just approved that, and basically it's contingent on the check and the insurance and just getting the paperwork in order. And we gave you a deadline of July 22nd, which is obviously before your event, opposed to the other group. So we're trying to help you out. If you just get us the paperwork and check, we'll be all squared away.
Appreciate it. I think the insurance went over today and the check will be mailed out this week. So you should have all
Great.
that.
It's super. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. So going back to the agenda,
You want to vote on that?
Yeah, I need a motion and a second, please, on 171.
Move approval.
motion. Anyone?
Second.
I'll get this right one of these days. Okay.
Rookie mistakes, no problem, John.
Yeah, but at some point they're not rookie mistakes anymore. Anyway, so I guess we're down to new business / announcements, committee and liaison reports. Does anybody have anything to report?
I want to take a few minutes on, well, first, just before I talk for just a few minutes about the dedicated pickleball courts, I want to let you all know that we needed a new volleyball net and new nets on the basketball hoops. And Ed got it done so fast and so well that I just wanted to let you all know that he came through for us because they were in pretty bad shape. And as soon as we became aware of it,
I'll pass it on to
got
Bobby.
it done.
Pass it on to Bobby, who did all the work.
Well, yeah.
Maintenance crew.
But on the subject of dedicated pickleball courts, I hope you at least know that I sent you a memorandum on June 28th and another on July 3rd.
Yes.
Call
I
them
was back.
reports. Well, I guess I won't ask if anybody's read them. I realize we just had a big holiday weekend right in the middle of all of that, but I went ahead and sent them anyway. I figured if I could work on them over the weekend, you guys could at least receive them. The first one is the meaty one, the June 28 one, and it has a number of attachments, which you're only going to be able to see if you pick up your hard copies out of your mailboxes in town hall.
Okay.
So I would ask you to please do that. And I think that to me, it's not necessarily right, but to me, probably the first step is where would we put such courts? And you will find among the attachments, I think it's the second one, an overview prepared by Joe Catella, free of charge, no obligation. I just called him, introduced myself, and he couldn't have been more helpful. It's really terrific. And he has indicated where around the park we might put pickleball courts. I know that at least one person has sort of a preconceived idea where they should go. And without saying who it is, I asked her to hold off and not form a judgment. That it's really a complicated question, and there are pros and cons to all the possible locations. So subject to what you all think when you get a chance to dig into this, I think what I'd like to suggest is that when the last vacation ends, which I guess is Ed's, right after Ed gets back, perhaps to have a special meeting. I don't want to wait till August 13. You know, we want to get this into next year's budget. We want to be able to build next spring, assuming we decide to build. And we're losing the summer. We're losing July with vacations, holiday, and so forth. So as soon as possible, I'd like to have a meeting, probably a special meeting, public notice, all of that, to discuss whatever comments, questions, etc. you have out of these two reports or memoranda. See if you agree with me about the need to, see if you agree with me that a good place to start is if we were to do these courts, where would we put them? Assuming you do, what I would like to do is have us all go over to the park together. Now, I assume under the open meetings law, that would be on notice to the public. Anybody in the public, Joan is nodding, anybody in the public who wants to join us and walk the tour with us, it's not going to be challenging physically. It's not that much. And take it from there. I am really anxious to get this rolling, because before we know it, we'll be working on the budget. And then it's going to be, well, what should the number be? I do address in a limited way in the first report a little bit about cost, although there's a lot to be learned yet about that. So that's my spiel for tonight. And if anybody has anything to add or ask, please feel free. That grin on Alan's face suggests to me that he has a thought or two. I don't know if he'll share it. He's not going to share it. Okay.
I'll read through that stuff. Thank you for putting it together.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? Okay.
You asking for public comment or?
Yeah, I was just about to announce, is there any non-agenda public comment?
Dodd Crane, village resident and pickleball aficionado, as I think you've experienced. Just one comment, if you want to get a better feel, live feel for what this sport is like, and particularly enthusiasm for it. If you go to either behind the firehouse in Statsburg on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8:30 in the morning, or go up to the Red Hook Reg Park at 8:30 in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. In the rec park, as you drive up into the Red Hook Rec Park to the east of the swimming pool, on your right where the old hockey rink is, there are 4 courts there and then 3 courts in Statsburg. And you get a much better feel for the level of enthusiasm and participation. And a number of those folks are Rhinebeckians. And then I don't check the Rhinebeck courts much recently because I've been going to those locations, but I've heard anecdotally there are a bunch of people playing there too. So if you want to,
near my office in the city, there's a park that has it set up, and it's basically all week during the week. It's active.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
That's in New York City, did you say, Josh?
Yeah, on Houston Street on the north side near 6th Ave, there's a pretty decent sized park, and they've got it lined for pickleball, and it seems to be there's an adult league during the week almost every day. They got round robin or something going. So
I hadn't heard about that, but I'm not surprised.
and then if the board wants to come out and play some night, I'll be happy to introduce you.
As will I. Dodd can stand at one end, I'll stand at the other and we'll coach.
Take that under advisement. Anybody else comments on non-agenda items, public comments?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Eleanor, how are you? Please.
I just wanted to comment, and I've said this before, rather than putting stuff up helter-skelter, we should get some sort of vision for the park. What should be, I know that they've got certain things boxed out. This should be open space, this shouldn't, but that's not really enough. I mean, you want it to be integrated in a beautiful place where people really want to come and relax. And, I'm looking at, I told you, I compared that to where I used to live, which is called Boonville, New York. And it was absolutely amazing how very pretty and peaceful that park was, and what that offered for a much smaller park. So that's just my 2 cents. And then just a quick thing about the movies. This happened to be the Village, but they let some people do some filming up at the park.
Yes.
And I was there hiking that day, and I was there over an hour, and there were about 5 vehicles all running with either one or no people in them. And when I came back, they were still running. So I was thinking maybe somewhere along the way you could put into your contract something about people should minimize harm or something, that they should be respectful of.
I'll look into that. It's a completely reasonable point.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellen.
Anybody else?
I agree with what Eleanor said completely. And I have a letter that I was preparing. I went to the planning board meeting about the workforce housing, and I'll send it to you guys. And
okay,
it may become or may seem intemperate, but I'm trying not to seem intemperate, and keep that in mind.
That's fine.
We'll see how you did.
As long as there's some kind introduction and some
yes, I have that
kind exit to the letter that follows the love sandwich format, we generally are acceptable of that.
Good.
Okay. If people go out of blasting right out of the gate, that tends to be a little bit off-putting, but that's just me.
That's not Rhinebeck. Thanks, fellas.
No. Okay, great. Hearing nothing else, is there anything else that I've not done right or should do, Joan? All right, I guess I'm looking for an emotion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All right, I made it through. Thank you all.
Good job, Josh.
Good, Josh.
I'll talk to you soon.
Good night.
Take care.
Good night.
You.
Bye.